Hello, everyone, and welcome to a beautiful conversation in regard to right riches for you. Woohoo! And today I'm very excited. Today I'm with Constanze Chiarello, who is
Perfect.
who's a Right Riches for You CF, and you all know this beautiful lady Megan Hill. And the purpose of this conversation, myself and Megan are the hosts for the Right Riches for You CF in Rome, and Constanza is one of the CFs that is trailblazing with the Right Riches for You tools. And so we invited her on because I wanted to know, while most people are in what's going on in the world right now, you're generating, you're creating, and so what gift has becoming a Right Riches for You being to your life?
Well, it changed basically everything. And I really mean everything. So before Access, I used to be an artist. Like I was the only one in my family who didn't study, which was a big problem. So I was basically broke and living from paycheck to paycheck. And my grandma was like, I hope she marries rich. That was like her biggest her biggest dream for me. So I basically had no money, and money was like this off topic for me. Like I'm also an X-Men facilitator, so it really is your wrongness is your strongness, because I really thought I'm fucked up with money. This was like the one topic I was like, okay. So I started becoming a CF, and it popped up even more, this money topic, and it became so much fun to facilitate it. So I saw Right Riches for You, and there was this one thing. It was like have money and like money. That's what Gary wrote down there. So basically, 1.5 year before, and no one knows that, right? That was really between me and myself. Like if
Mm.
I personality, you know what I mean?
I
And
knew, I knew because you had told, so I knew it, and you had told me this, like that you were the artist, you were the fashion designer, you were
yes,
the one your grandma was concerned. I remember this. I remember you telling me
yes.
this in Austria
So
in
I
2020.
saw this Right Riches training, and I started having this demand of having money until it comes. So 1.5 years. So I really pushed myself, like, what would it take to really have money? And I set kind of something that would be unbelievable to create and generate. And I did a week before the CF training. I created it. And that was the biggest change for me, because it really got me going, right? I really had this demand to go, to have, to create, and to also look at all the crazy stuff around money I bought and had. And there was a lot, I have to say. So
It's
it
so
really changed my whole life. It
it's so
did.
funny. It's so funny when you're saying this. One of the principles of Right Riches for You is having the freedom of choice without having to have the money. And so you already are in the energy of Right Riches for You in regard to, I will have this choice. I am free to choose this. And then choice creates. Wow.
Yes. So it really got me going. And I have to say that becoming a Right Riches CF was a process, right? So 1 year ago, we did all those classes. And it was an intense process, because those three trainers are potent creators. Yeah, they are. It wasn't always comfortable, but it was it was an honor to be in those classes with them, because
Oh,
they're all three of them are so different and so potent and so magical. And it was such a big contribution to be with them and to learn from them. And I really use the word learn, because I learned how they function with money and how they are with money and what questions they do ask. And it was a big inspiration for me, for sure, to be in that training. So it was not just becoming a Right Riches CF training. For me, it was a financial education learning I never got before, right? So
I just wanted to chime in. If you don't know who she's talking about, if you're watching
yes,
this, it's Shannon O'Hara, Simone Millicis, and David Cubis. And I would totally agree with you. It's like there's the inspiration and the magic and the generation of money combined with the education that I never really sought out for myself. Do you know what I mean? And then they have that. I've listened to them for years, and sometimes I'm like, la la la, don't want to hear about taxes, you know. But every time it's there for you when you're ready. Like you said, it's awesome. So
Yes.
So you guys know that's who's doing the training, and those are part of the classes that you have to go to.
Well, Constanze, would you like to share with us your favorite right riches for you? Because I would love to know what they are. I'm like, tell me, give me the goods.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure if that's
what do you use in your day-to-day, like things that you just naturally?
I'm not sure if that's something that people like to hear, but for me, it was choosing the uncomfortable. That was it, I have to say. That was it, because it is like those moments. Shannon said this once about dealing with money. Like those moments can feel like someone peels your skin off and you like to run away. And right? So those were the moments I trained myself to go there. So that was the biggest growth for me, to go there and not stop. Because if you have we have a business in Switzerland and Italy, we live here now, so the tax situation got, for instance, quite a bit complicated, and those were moments where I really would love to run away and not deal with it. But that was something I had the biggest growth, for sure. So choosing the uncomfortable. Sorry, guys.
There you go.
I think though in that, like, what I have found is, because I like in that area, I would way rather run the other way. I didn't get into like the taxes and interest rates and like all that stuff, just like literally is painful, like you said, like peeling the skin off. And I've had a few things recently where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna actually like get present with it. And once you get past the skin peeling off layer, you realize, what I'm finding is, I know something that nobody else knows about. I don't even know how to put it into words, but that's where the money shows up in the weirdest way. Like if I'm willing to like get through that weird fucking shit, then there's some capacity through it all that shows up. So I think that's so fucking cool, and that you acknowledge that, because I tend to not want to keep going through those moments, but now because you said it, I will.
And like, because you said it too, I would say the thing I used probably the most was awareness.
Yeah.
Like one, because that's where I kind of came from. I used to facilitate X-Men classes for like 2 years nonstop. So that was kind of a thing that was a lot of fun for me. And to really use awareness, because as I said, in this reality, I didn't really learn a lot about money. I didn't study something, but like your awareness, what do I know about this? What do I know? Well, if I choose this, that basically was the biggest magic. Like you know something no one else does. You follow what's like, you follow your knowing, and people say you're crazy, but like 2-3 years afterwards, they're like, oh wow, that was brilliant.
Right.
And that happened quite often, actually.
Yeah, that's so cool. And that's, I think, where, you know, there's a lot of facilitators who have heard of Right Riches. Hopefully all of you guys have read the Right Riches for You book. If you haven't, you are crazy. But I think that's part of Right Riches for You, that people don't, it's not all about money, and it is about money, and it's about you tapping into like your capacities. There's a part in I think it's the Right Riches for You book, where Gary's like, if you're like, you'll never have an ease with money if you don't actually find out what you are great at, what you are uniquely great at. And nobody else may understand it, but once you find out what you are great at, like your financial reality can just take off. And I love that I don't know, the energy that you're presenting is awesome. So like I said, I'm in the middle of an SOP class that's melting my brain and face. So I wonder, if you're listening to this, what capacities you have with money that you haven't ever tapped into, and with creation.
And you know, like, because can I add something to the awareness talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, because awareness goes beyond everything that exists here. And it goes beyond what accountants or lawyers cognitively know. And no one is really educated on that we have that knowing, that if something is off, that we can trust that. That's not it. There must be something else. And even if it's not created yet, that you have to demand, okay, what would it take for that to show up, for a different possibility here, right? So awareness, for sure, was the biggest magic in the whole money money creation and wealth creation. Yes.
And that really is right riches for you. That awareness is the source of all creation. And that for me is one of the most beautiful parts of it, discovering it, what you are great at. Yeah.
Wow. So I want to just really quickly, I know we have just a little bit of time left, but Rachel, you might have it in your brain. I know that for this CF training coming up, I'm so excited for it because like with all the stuff that we've gotten to with structures and destructuring everything, I think that the target is to like completely destructure financial reality. Is that what Shannon had said?
That's Shannon's target. Yeah.
Right. What are you asking for? What are you looking forward to? What's showing up currently in your world with the destructuring conversation it seems like the world is like, they think they're going into total chaos and that things, like the financial markets are just fucking going nuts. And I think when I look at it, Right Riches has such a cool future because people are going to be seeking tools for something different.
Yes. I would say one of my biggest ask is that there are more kind, caring, and conscious millionaires out there because the world would be different for sure. For sure. So what if all the humanoids X-Men out there are willing to finally have money and take the steps, and how different would the world look like and how much easier would it be to create the change we're asking for? Because it is easier with money. I have to say, I tried it. I tried both ways. It is.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so I would say that. Yeah.
Rachel, anything you've got?
It just is so refreshing to me to know that while all the nonsense and the anxiety and stress is going on in financials, that I don't have to choose that anymore. And for me, I've got a level of trust in consciousness and in me showing up in my choices, and it's there for everyone. The question is, will you choose it?
So true. And that trust thing, like trusting in your awareness, trusting in you, trusting in that the universe and consciousness have your back is like, I might admit that maybe December and January felt like I was starting to not trust things. Like things are getting super weird. And now it's just like, let's go.
Yes.
And we really are a different possibility that the earth is asking for with Right Riches for you. And that's the part that it makes me so happy that we can be that. Not only is it about that we're that difference, but also the earth is asking for this difference. Yeah. Super cool. Beautiful.
And would you say like anyone who, I think one of the things that's really cool is that when people become Right Riches for you facilitators, sorry, I can't talk about them, that they have like this confidence, this trust, it's not confidence, but like this power in knowing that for anyone out there who's like, I don't know, like money, riches, creation, like it's where I'm the most fucked up. What would you say to invite them? Because any CF can actually come to this training. You don't have to be on the path of becoming a Right Riches for You facilitator. What would you guys say to them?
Well, I would say that we often tend to look at business, right? But not really about the money part. So if there is an element of having like hating money, having a point of view about money, that is something that is actually stopping money showing up in your life. So for me, the Right Riches, the money part is such a big contribution to the whole business part, right? So what would that create for all the future access businesses? And I'm not sure who said it, probably Gary, like what if financial freedom is not having a point of view about money? And I think that's brilliant.
Boom.
For it to show up.
Yeah. I would say for me, my favorite part is the having, that you can have choice, and you have like choice is your freedom. And then when you're willing to be free, and when you're willing to facilitate what frees you, the money will come. And this for me is like, I can do that. I can contribute. I'm willing to have that. It's a game changer. Yeah. the having of money and the having of your capacities.
Yes.
Yay.
Yay.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, just even notice the conversation is creating so much space, you know, and a lot of it is allowing that space, because what right riches for you is what right riches is for you, and gifting yourself the space to allow that to show up. And I would love everyone to know that this is available to them. Whether you choose it or not is, you know, not relevant. It's the availability of it. And Constanze has showed that what it created for her. And if you're willing to have it, then what future would it be for you? You know, what future would that create for you?
Brilliant.
Thanks.
Well, so you guys are invited to a CF training that's coming up in May, at the end of May, right after CF in Rome. And if you don't choose this one, there's other ones. And if you're like, I don't even know, check out, these ladies are doing classes, get the book. There's a microsite on the website. It's accessconsciousness.com/right riches. And all the classes and everything are there. So check it out. And if you have questions, you can reach out to myself or Rachel about the class and what else is possible.
Yeah, it's inspiring. Thank you so much, ladies, for this conversation. Thank you for your time. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.